today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how do we scale with impact. Meaning, how do you scale your business and make an impact and be impactful?
Here to show up and show out. 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 Yeah.
One of the biggest things in this community family is we talk about having a community, having people that you can depend on, having people that you can work with, having people that you can constantly uh, keep growing with. And I myself, I've been walking with some guys. Goodness, I think well over 8 or 9 years. Um, we've been getting after it when it comes to the business. We're all six-figure earners, and we do it through impact. And the way that I look at impact is making sure that you have um, people that you can depend on, making sure that you have people that you can trust, and then also making sure that you have people that understand how you do business, how you shoot, and also are either just as good or good enough to work with you. Now, the good enough is something that we're going to talk about later, because I think the truth of the matter is we always think that we're the best. Or if we don't think that we're the best, we think that those that are the best won't work with us. And that's not always the case either. But what we will do is we're going to first talk about the community side of it. So as you've heard me mention, I have two really good friends in this industry. One by the name of Jaron Collins, the other by the name of Jarrell Truelove. Both of them have great Instagrams. They have great YouTubes. So I definitely encourage you to check them out as well. But here's the thing that has made us good at what we do. We support one another. Now, what does support look like? Support looks like, of course, showing up to events that we host. Support looks like showing up in the comments, showing up in the likes. Yes, that's all good. But support also means we're also contractors for one another, meaning that we contract with one another, business and projects that we have, because we know that we're all going to be able to deliver the same amount of quality that we would if it was just our client itself. And this community of us, we have been talking and doing a lot of work over the years together. We've traveled the world together. We've shot amazing videos, amazing conferences, amazing weddings, amazing photos, you name it. We've done just about anything and everything that we had at least thought that we could do. Now, granted, our mind gets blown as far as how far our cameras can take us and the people that we're going to be around, but that's a whole nother situation. But what we do know is that when we think about scaling with impact, the one thing that we learned very quickly and early on was we didn't have to keep finding more people when we were the people. We were the ones right there the whole time, and we just really start saying, hey, are you available? And negotiating a rate that one still made sure that the main person who brought in the business got paid, but the person who was being contracted in also still walked away with something that was worth their time and also their skill set. And so the first tip that I have for you is when you're thinking about scaling with impact is get you some people. That's right, get you some people. Find you a good 3. I like to say find you a good 5, but 5 may be hard to come by. I have quite a few others that I can call and depend on. Some by the name of Chris, Corey. We also got some by the name of Tony. You name it. I have some great people that I can rock with and that I've been rocking with for a while. But when I think of my top 2, my right-hand men, those are my 2. And I think here's the thing though. What has worked well with this is we don't just do business together, we do life together. And I think that when you think about your community, you got to think about how has everyone else done this, and you look at those around you, and you'll realize that the great photographers, the great videographers, they typically always had a second person or a third person, or they always had their best friends that you always saw them with. Hey, we're the 3 best friends that you wish you had, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, when clients see us coming, they know they're going to get a good job. They know they're going to get great work. There have been moments that I've sent Jaren, I've sent Jarrell. There's been moments that they've sent me. There's been moments that we've sent we. And the client is excited to know that we are representing each other well. No matter what the business name says on the polo, it's the idea of knowing that you represent well. One of the key things of scaling with impact is being a person of good character. And having good character means that you're making sure that as you are doing business and as you're working with others, you're also, of course, making sure that you're giving everything that you have. You're putting the best foot forward every single time. And also being open to receive that feedback. Now, the second tip that I have for you when it comes to scaling with impact is making sure that your rates are at a rate that allows for you to bring on more people. Meaning you can't be too low to where you can't bring help. And you also can't be too prideful that you're scared to ask for help. So that's going to be the number two is having a rate that is comparable. Now, I can't tell you what you should charge because I don't understand everyone's skill set. But what I can tell you is that when we think about our rates, typically you think about what is it going to cost for you, and then you multiply that by 2. That's going to be what you're going to potentially charge the client. Now, sometimes you may have to take a cut in that. Sometimes you have to bring that rate down, and that's okay. But you figure out what works, and also you figure out how to make sure that it's a fair rate within the market. I talked a lot about pricing in some of my other videos and how we negotiate. We can talk through that later as well. And if you have questions, hit me up in the comments or hit me up in the DMs later. But one of the things is when you talk about your rate, you got to be clear on this is bringing not just me, but I'm bringing my team. I'm coming with the full force of what we have for this particular project. And then I think the third tip is that when you think about scaling with impact, you also have to think about, are you in a mental position to handle the scaling? Meaning, have you written this idea down? Have you figured out what have you thought about what do you want this to look like? And when you do that, then guess what you know? You know that you're going to get a good product. You know that you're going to get a product that can stand on its own. But at the same time, it always stays in front of you. So guys, when you think about scaling, I want you to think first, your community. 2, what are you going to charge? Meaning, how do you charge at a reputable rate? And then 3, are you truly ready for it? When you do that, I promise you, impact will start, your scaling will start to come. When you do that, I promise you that when you do that, I promise you the scale will come. You're going to see more business coming your way because they're going to see that they're not just getting you, but they're getting multiple people at a decent rate. But then they're also going to start to be more excited because you're going to start to become more excited because you're going to start to see the fruit of your labor truly manifesting based on how the project turns out. You're going to be less stressed through the setup. You're going to be less stressed through the shooting. You're going to be less stressed because now you're in a creative space to where you're working with people and not working against yourself. So, hey, like I said, I want to make sure that I keep giving you all tips and things that's going to help you. These are things that's worked for me. I promise you, like I said, the 3 guys that I mentioned, and really almost everyone that I mentioned in that video were all 6-figure earners. We all do it every single year. And it is not without question. It's just knowing that we have all scaled and we've been able to use each other in a way that we can trust that when we go to represent one another and when we represent ourselves, we're also representing the community of photographers and videographers that at any point the client knows or any client knows that they're going to get a good product. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can email me, you can DM me, or even also like I usually say, hey, make sure you follow, subscribe, share it with someone else. We're going to be dropping this knowledge every single week to make sure that we grow not just as a community, but as individuals. I really want everyone to know how to be better at what we do. And it starts with making sure that we're reputable business owners and that they can truly that people can truly depend on us to do a great job in what we do. I love y'all. As always, let's keep working, let's keep cooking, let's keep eating. Love y'all.
Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show out. Here to show up and show